Oh wait, here. Pretend coffee. Pretend coffee with me.
We're so thirsty. We drink some of that.
Okay, so let's check out the comments. We're going live. I think we're live.
Oh, we are live.
We are live.
We're in.
Yes.
22 seconds.
Hi, y'all. Is that what you say in Tennessee? Hi, y'all.
Yes.
Y'all.
Welcome, y'all.
Welcome. We are at SEMA 2022 live. This is our first live, and I can't even believe it. I came back from taking all this video of all these just amazing lifted trucks and cars, and it's just enough to pull you over. It's too much, but I am so happy because I got back to the booth, and there you were. Mark Stoner.
Hey, guys.
Mark Stoner owns Borotech in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
That's right.
Borotech Powder Coating. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And you're no slouch. You have your own podcast.
I do.
Tell me about it.
I started in the industry, in the chimney industry, and I have a podcast called Blue Collar Gold podcast. I'm big into blue collar work. Love blue collar work. I have some blue collar service industries, metal fabrication, and so I started a podcast, and I wrote a book. Also, it's on Amazon about how to build a service business. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I have an ebook too.
Yeah. What is it?
It's for consumers to know how to get their rims done, powder coating.
Nice.
So it's 30 pages. It's not very cheap.
Right.
It's probably not as expensive as yours, but hey, I'm on Amazon.
Yeah, mine's not super extensive. It's a pretty easy read. I'm not an author by any means, but I just had some information I thought could help people, and it's a good book. It's good. It's a good read.
It's good to challenge yourself to do things. And before we hopped on, I was like, this is our first live. We did a pre-recording with Valerie that I posted earlier to my Facebook page, but I was really challenged to go live because it's not on a podcast, because it's not something that very many people, in podcasting can do unless you know how to go about doing it.
There's little technical things that you have to
learn. Yeah.
It's fun, though. It's good.
Most of the time I stick to just the Zooms.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's just easy. But I just hooked up with this StreamYard, and you're already on it. And I like it. I like it.
Every week.
And it's cheaper. It's going to be, in the end, it's going to be cheaper than the Zoom.
Right.
And I've got way more features. So I want to start doing lives. I have done some lives. One of the first ones I did was, do you know Reno from Armor?
I do not.
Powder. He's in Tennessee too. I don't know where. Knoxville, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Tennessee. My brother just moved there. And when I went to the powder coating week in Orlando, I flew up to see him because I'd never seen his new house. And I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So
I like Hawaii though too. We just went to. I have a chocolate business as well, so we went to the Maui plantation there. It's only cacao.
The cacao people.
Yeah. We love it there.
Did you like the tour there? Everybody raves about
it. The tasting is in a treehouse. You go up into a treehouse.
Oh, okay.
And it's right there on the plantation. So,
okay. I didn't know I knew they had their factory was in Lahaina town, and you can walk through the factory and stuff like that. Oh, cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
Well, we're going to have, next time you come, you already have your Maui Powder Works hat.
I got my Maui Powder. I'm representing.
You're representing.
Yes.
Of course, when you come for a live interview, you can get a sticker and Maui Powder Works hat and make new friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, we met like 5 minutes ago, so we're old friends.
And I'm already telling you to get on the powdercoatingnearme.com website.
I'm going to do it.
For free.
I'm brand new in the industry overall. I bought an existing business, but I'm here to learn.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much to know.
Obviously.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I started the podcast is, just for myself, right? I don't do the actual powder coating. My husband does all of that. And we've trained other people to do it as well. But, I was in finishing and furniture refinishing and did a lot of paint coatings and stuff on furniture. So, I'm not I know enough, right?
Yeah.
And know enough to be dangerous, right?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm more on the business side.
Yeah.
My powder coat manager is to the left, and so is his assistant. So we run kind of a 10-person kind of factory,
Yeah.
and I'm more on the business side and understanding how to promote it, how to make a better product, how to scale it, and they are the ones actually doing that.
Yeah, right. I'd love to talk to you. Yeah, and how do you scale a powder coating company? I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. In some sense, it is if you have the right accounts, right? But how are you doing it?
Well, I'll tell you how we stepped into it and then how we scaled it. I was in the metal fabrication business, and I had a certain part that we always had to have someone else powder coat. And then when we had so much of it, we're like, well, we need to just do our own powder coat. Well, when we did that, we happened to go to a place. He's like, well, instead of buying the powder coat equipment, why don't you buy my factory? So that was a big jump for me. But in that, when we walked into the powder coat operation, I could immediately see places where they needed help, and they just had production issues. And one of it was the owner was way too involved in all the powder coating. And it's because he had to have he had to do all of the work. And for me as a business owner, I know that's always, you cannot scale if the business owner is doing all that. You have to step back from it and let others do it, which is always hard. They mess it up. They aren't as good as the owner. But you will never scale a business if you are doing all the work. You just can't, because you just can't put too much on you. And then also the business isn't worth as much when you go to sell it if the owner is a key component in the business.
Did you hear that, Ross Scott? That's my husband.
Oh, okay. I'm not in marriage, Kathleen. I just know how to grow a business.
You are now.
Yeah, right.
You had no idea what you were walking into. No, it's so true. And I keep harping on Ross about it. And it can be kind of a point of contention between us, as husband and wife. But,
it's always a step backwards, right? So you're like, can I afford to have somebody do it? I'm faster. Secondly, can I afford to pay for mistakes from someone else, which you're going to have? But also, it's like teaching you how to tie your shoes, right? If you never teach your kid how to tie shoes and you're always tying the shoes for the kid, it'll be quicker to do it yourself and tie the shoes for the kid, and then you leave. But then the kid will never learn how to do it. And you'll always, how many times you got to spend 5 minutes tying your shoes?
Yep.
And so for me, when I teach powder coating, it's overall a simple process. And for us, if we teach people how to do it, then we've built a time asset in people. Like, even if they're only 60% as good as me, I've got 60% of my time back.
Yeah.
Right? I might have to help 40% of the time at first, and then 30%, 20%. But you're building a time asset in people. And it's hard because they can leave, start their own business, all that stuff.
True.
But you will never get away from it. I came from a family of multiple small businesses, and whenever somebody got sick, hurt, anything happened to the owner, the business collapsed. I'd say it's like building a business. It's great, it's easy, but if something happens, you might have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, everything you're saying is just like clicking with me because, we're actually trying to launch a business within a business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I've been kind of on the shy side about talking about it out loud to people, especially our audience at the Powder Coater podcast, because it's hard to launch a business within a business when you're already kind of tapped out on hats you're wearing and stuff like that. So, we have this concept. It's called Patina Powder Coat. You can Google it if you want. We can talk after and stuff. But, we think we have something that's very unique and very different in the powder coating world. And that's what I get excited about, is being able to think outside the box. I think that's what, powder coaters can be very agile. They can go from industrial coating to small tank, our parts and automotive rims and stuff like that. And that flexibility actually lends them this ability or skill set that is so unique compared to some of these line coaters and stuff like that,
To that point, I think it's also the thing of people back, because you become an expert technician and not an expert business person. So you can be an expert powder coater, expert technician, anything. But the problem is you like being an expert and you don't like not being an expert. So then when you jump into the business side of it, the marketing, the numbers, the scaling, the people, the management of people, you're like, I don't like that so much. I just like powder coat my thing and being done or whatever. And that is the hold up with a lot of scaling. It's your thought process. So for me, I actually personally don't want to be a great powder coater. I want to run a great powder coating business.
Right.
There's a difference.
Well, let's figure out how you do that. When are you writing that book?
You know. I'll let you know when I figure that out.
Okay, good.
I'm working on it. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what we're exploring on the podcast for us, specifically powder coating. And I think that needs to be explored and exploited, because we're not getting it from the greater industry. Right. We're not. I've already gone down that road. We're a member of PCI. I've talked to them, and their understanding of what our problems are, or who we think we are, is different from what they think we are. Sure. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like anything. You have to learn. You have to be uncomfortable learning something new and doing something different. And a lot of people don't like to be uncomfortable. So scaling the business is uncomfortable all the way through. And then, because in my shop, one of Powder X comes in and does classes inside my shop and brings new people in all the time. Now, a quick example, this guy came to me, and a lot of people don't realize I own the business because I was in the classes too, listening. And he came and said, "Oh, you own the business? Well, where do you get these chemicals and where do you get these things?" I said, "I have people that get it. I just have to make sure I don't ever want to know all those details myself." And that may sound weird, but it keeps me being able to run the business without doing it.
Right.
And then that's good for all my managers and people because they know I'm staying in my lane. Mm-hmm. If I get in there and get in everybody's lane, it's a problem because nobody then can take the lead. So I have managers and assistants that take ownership and they feel like it's their own business, and that's exciting.
Yeah. How many people did you say you employ, and how big is your facility?
Specifically, the powder coating has about 10 employees. It's about 25,000 square foot facility. Inside that, I have a small metal fabrication, and there's 8 employees in there too. We just took on an assembly line. We're just getting ready to move in. It's powder coating drinkware for a pretty major player in the industry. And so you've got an assembly line system that is full assembly line of the ovens, and that's going to bring in 11 more people on that assembly line. It's about 150.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That just happened this week for us. They came to us with a request for proposal, and we didn't have the equipment or anything to do it. Well, I tell you, don't say no too quick. If you're not ready, ask them to work with you. And that's what happened with this deal with us. We're like, we don't have all this stuff. And they're like, well, let us help you get it because we need you. They needed us as bad as we needed them. So we opened that conversation. All of a sudden, it turned into a really good deal for both parties.
That's awesome. It sounds like, when you're scaling and you've got, maybe you started in your garage or in a small shop, I think the biggest thing for us is space. It's a high commodity where I'm from, right? And we're really, I don't want to say we're regretting it, but at the time it sounded like a really good idea because when we moved there, it was 2020 and our whole island was shut down, our whole state was shut down. And so we wanted to make sure that the picture fit the frame in terms of, the size. It wasn't the size we wanted. We wanted.
You had the proof concept to make sure you have more business.
Well, we were relocating, so we already had a clientele, but at the same time, there was a lot of, confusion about when the state, how busy we're going to be, in this kind of environment, right? And so we went with the smaller shop, and now it's killing us because we can't, we can't find, or it's very hard to look. It took us months, if not years, to find where we were at. You know what I mean? And now we're just kind of suffering a little bit. So we're just kind of going up, and so we're just starting to build stuff up. So, store the powders upstairs. Just in the interim until something can pop for us. But it's frustrating because you have to go outside to change your mind, or you have to move 15. Like Ross has got these like really long linear posts or something that came in early, and then he's trying to finish up this job right now that he's just got too much of, and literally has to go and pull shit out of the shop, put it out in the driveway, and then put it back in at night. And you spend so much time doing that, it's a waste.
The guy that I bought the business from started off, powder coating cups, thermal, in his oven. Right? He started in his house, then he moved into his barn, and then he realized that this is a business. He went in with his family, kind of had investment with the family, and they bought the facility that I originally purchased. So his top of his game ever was my starting point.
Right.
So when I came in, I'm like, I already immediately knew we were going to build another 40,000 square feet facility behind it with other things in it, but we already knew this thing was going to go down. Hawaii's different. I could speak in in Tennessee. I'm just south of Nashville, but it was always the plan to know we were going to grow, and at every step, how do we grow to the next step? And to your point, when you're pulling stuff out and you're handling the material multiple times, you've got to do something because you're losing money every time you touch that. Every time you touch whatever you touch.
Yeah, I agree. And to that, I mean, my husband had an accident earlier this year where he broke his hand. It was not his fault, but it slowed him down. Right. And so now I'm kind of, he's kind of getting to the point where it's like, I can do this. And then, he realizes that he's holding up the cash flow. And I'm trying to tell him, are you listening? Like
you're the problem.
You're the problem now. It's not going to be a bash session about Ross.
Every owner is the problem. It's not him. Every single owner, it happens to all of us. We become the bottleneck, and it's hard to recognize when you are the problem. As you just did a Facebook Live on this, 7 signs that you are the problem. And it's okay because that's just natural business that you become the bottleneck, which is good. You built something up, but you got to recognize when it's you. And I always say, this is my best tool. And delegate. This is your number one tool, not the gun, not anything else. It's this. Learn to use this and be good at this, and you can grow a business to industry.
That's awesome. I love your inspiration. I love your thought into it, and I love the fact that you're kind of thinking 10 steps ahead, and that's kind of what I want to do. With a lot of the digital products that we have out there right now. And I think that the powder coating world needs to change, and I'm happy that you're in it. And I'm happy
brand new. This is my first.
I know,
thing.
but
I'm
still,
new.
You're wanting to change things. You're wanting to help others, and you're help yourself and teach your group of people, a better way.
I'll tell you one. Keep
going. No.
I'll tell you one other neat thing that was put into my business, into this powder coating industry or business that I bought before I got there, was a work release program. And I never knew about work release programs. I never used it. But in my system, there is these people that need work. They need a trade. They're trying to do better in their life. They the sheriff brings a couple of the guys to my shop every day. They drug test them every week. They're relatively inexpensive. They can't be on cell phones. They can't do anything other than work. And they say, yes, sir, no, sir, absolutely, sir. And they do the work. And if they don't do the work, we say, hey, this guy's not working out. And they bring a new person. I'll tell you, it's great from my heart and my feeling when these guys learn something. They all read my book. They all learn how to be better men, how to work in leadership, how to work as a team. All these guys just never had good families, good leadership, a role model, and all of a sudden we become that. And I'll tell you, two of the guys have come off. Not everybody makes it. They come off, and when they're on their own, they don't make good decisions. But two of the guys have, and they're still with us, and they're doing the right things. And I'll tell you, if you're a heartfelt business owner, giving people a chance to learn a trade and being in a good environment is really good for your heart. And it's good because also these guys are succeeding, the new guys coming in and watching them like, this is really a chance. One last thing. One of the guys who heroed and got out, he said, you know, if I hadn't been with you in this work release program, I probably couldn't have got a job.
Oh, yeah.
I said, you're right. I wouldn't have hired you. If you came to my door and said, I just got out of jail, I'm not going to hire you.
Yeah,
but because you came in a program, you proved yourself, you showed up every day, you worked hard every day, absolutely I'm going to hire you. I'm not going to hold your past against you. But it's a good, I don't know if it's ever, you have to have certain things in your environment to be able to do this. But it was already set up before I got into the business, and I love that it makes me feel good about training people and bringing them up and raising them.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, here's to cheersing
the Powder
Coder podcast.
We were both thirsty, and there's nothing.
There's nothing to drink.
We're like, we're thirsty. Oh God.
We hopped up. We were so excited when we said podcast. We were like, podcast? Where's the podcast?
Some water.
And then we got on, and we were like, wait a minute, we gotta get some water.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been great to meet you, and I'm sure we'll be talking in the future.
Please.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back shortly. Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh.
Oh, cool. Nice. Good job. Fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
That was fun. Still getting the hang of it.
Yeah, you did great. We didn't get into your story though. I was hoping to.
Oh, people hear my story all the time.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I'll tune into your podcast and listen to it.
Yeah. We started it 2 years ago during the pandemic, and we had nothing to do,
Right.
you know. And anyways, yeah. And then I got Valerie on, and she started sponsoring the show and stuff. And one thing
So
led to
these
another.
guys sponsor your show?
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Your name's
Well,
Kim
I got
Scott.
a discount off of the Banco because I wanted one.
Nice.
So she paid. She got me.
Well, thank you for having
I
me
know.
on this.
Oh, here's a card.
I think it's still going.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Broadcast.
Okay. Bye.
Just a little chit chat.
See.